Gather around the fire, one and all. It is time for What's Hot, where we talk about those stories that have everybody talking.
We're joined today by Eric Paulson of Wellstream Media and Jeff Wagner back with us. Several law enforcement agencies have secretly equipped their officers with radar devices that allow them to peer through walls of homes.
And guess what? That's raising some legal and privacy issues. Should the public have been informed that their police were able to look through their walls?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I understand we have all this new technology that's out there, but we still have this thing in the country called the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. And I got to tell you, I don't understand how a lot of this new technology passes constitutional muster. It's one thing if you want to use like a telescope or you want to use binoculars and somebody's got an open window and they're doing stuff in their living room. That's one thing. It's another thing to use this technology to kind of peer into people's homes. I just don't think it's going to pass constitutional muster. I'm pro-cop, but I think you got to be really careful about this.
You do have to be very careful about it, and we have to define what those rules are right now, because this technology is only going to get more invasive. Yeah. I mean, right now you can only kind of peer in and see if there's a warm body basically in there moving around. Pretty soon you're going to be able to tell who's in there, what they're doing, and I'm more worried, even more worried than cops having this technology. I'm more worried when criminals and other people get their hands on these radar guns, and you know they're going to try for them.
Counselor, is the only chance to challenge a piece of technology like this, police use it to effect an arrest. Right. We get into a courtroom, a judge says, how the heck did you get this? And then throws the cops and their technology out on the court.
Right. It would be through what we would call a motion to suppress. Somebody, now I guess it's possible that somebody could file a lawsuit to try to prevent it, but normally there has to be an adverse action. Right. The way this will come up is they'll use it in a criminal investigation. Maybe they'll use what they see to perhaps even get a search warrant, and then the question is going to be, okay, was that initial information, was it obtained legally? And look, and I'm not pro-criminal at all, but the truth of the matter is, stuff that goes on behind closed doors in people's homes, outside of public view, typically we have a right of privacy, and I think all of us should be uncomfortable about that right of privacy being invaded.
All right, coming up next, we reveal the viewer's choice topic of the day.
And Jesse Ricca is back, taking another look at your forecast. And more now of what's hot in our viewer's choice topic of the day.
Again, we are joined by Eric Paulson and Jeff Wagner of 620 WTMJ. Today's viewer's choice topic, I plead guilty. Some of us have done this. You might say, what's the big deal? But a police officer in Georgia says it's distracted driving. He ticketed someone for eating while driving. Should police officers ticket drivers for eating? I
thought it fell under the same umbrella. Driving. I mean, you know, you're doing your makeup, you're messing with your phone, you're eating. It's the same, you know, you're up and down with your eyes.
I'm a television reporter. We are trained in the art of eating while driving.
Most people, I don't know what percentage.
Most of the time you're in the passenger seat.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know what percentage of meals Americans ingest behind the wheel, but it's pretty high. Yeah. People are eating behind the wheel all the time.
And just for that fact, it should be outlawed. We should be sitting down and eating our food.
Oh, Courtney. I mean, yeah. Okay. I mean, look. You want to know the real background of the story? Okay. Marietta, Georgia police officer. This guy was from Alabama. This was, I got my quota for the month, I'm going to try to nail somebody. The reality is that the Georgia distracted driving law is actually relatively similar to Wisconsin's, but what's interesting is this man was not driving in a distracted fashion. He wasn't weaving, he wasn't speeding. The guy didn't go through a stoplight or anything like that. He was apparently driving fine. The cop just follows him and says, hey, I was watching you chowing down on this double quarter pounder or whatever, and they ticket him just per se for eating while driving. If he was driving irregularly, he deserved a ticket, whether it was because he was eating or yelling at his kids in the back seat or whatever. But the fact that he was just eating a sandwich, give me a break.
Which is why eating while driving, no. Distracted driving, yes.
Well, right, driving
Eat something simple, no fajitas.
Well, right, or if he was trying to chow down on a giant watermelon or something, I understand.
What are foods that would be difficult to eat while driving? Chips and guacamole, barbecue, ribs.
Like
ribs, very tough.
A watermelon.
Taco would be messy.
Watermelon?
Yeah, messy.
Yeah, but I mean, just...
Oysters on the half shell.
Oh, yes.
My son always asks for popsicles in the car. No, I don't have one of those in my purse.
All right, lightning round time now.
A 5-year-old boy has been billed for not attending a friend's birthday party. Alex Nash planned on attending the party at a ski resort, but then changed his mind at the last minute. When Alex returned to school, he received an invoice from the birthday boy's mother, charging him $24 for the no-show. Should they pay?
Well,
I don't know what this woman's going to do when her child gets married and people don't show up, because that happens all the time,
Yeah,
and that's a lot more
crazy.
expensive than $24.
Right, and it's a fixed cost. I mean, once he RSVP'd, yes, they were going to be out to $24 one way or the other. Now, having said that, I do think it's kind of rude for the boy and his parents to RSVP yes, and then just not show up and not even have the courtesy of trying to reach out and contact him and say he's not coming.
Well, they said he didn't have the contact information.
Okay, but it's a kid in his class. I mean,
Right.
surely, I mean, they had to RSVP yes at some point in time. I mean, I do think there's an issue of rudeness. I think a lot of people do this, and I think it's rude.
Right, I
Should
think
they
you
have to
should be
pay?
respectful.
No.
You know, my child is
Yeah.
sick, we can't make it, that kind of thing. Something came up.
Right.
True, but the bottom line is he didn't know there was a per child cost when they were going to, I guess they went to some water park or something like
Right.
that. And then the mother should have made this a discussion between the adults. Putting an invoice in your kid's backpack and making the kid look at it, at that point, she kind of loses some of the moral high ground.
Yeah.
Another food difficult to eat while driving. Corn on the cob.
Corn out of the can, too.
But if you had the little, if you had like one on
you,
one
you
side,
need both hands for corn on the
you
cob.
would just need like a large.
The What's Hot discussion that
Bottle.
we're having here will
Nachos.
continue online.
Yeah,
Find
foods
it at
that you
TMJ.
can't eat while driving. Check it out.
Tweet us.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
What else is